Welcome to another episode of Remember When. My name is Jose. With me today are my boys Amir and Johnny. Say what's up, guys.
What's good, y'all?
Yo, how y'all doing?
Yo, how you guys been?
Yo, surviving and thriving.
Man, I'm trying to get this bag, bro.
All right, out here, cash money. I hear you, bro. I hear you. Yo, we gotta give a quick shout out to all listeners out there. Got a few different countries represented. Some Germany, some Japan.
Well, what's the percentage, though?
Yo, I'm just saying is that they represent.
They represent?
Yeah, all right, this podcast looking like the Olympics right now.
This is a diverse podcast, inclusive. I'll have you.
Yo, listen, we international boys. We worldwide.
Shout out Pitbull.
Yo, so today, the three of us, we're going to be talking about the highs and lows of Dragon Ball GT. And there are definitely a lot of lows, but we're going to try to mention a few highs as well, you know.
Hey, let's be honest.
We're going to be stretching for these highs.
But we'll get them.
It was cool when I was a kid.
You think so?
Yeah, bro. Listen, honestly, don't be surprised if it's like, oh, what's a high? And then I say something about the visual appeal. I like the color red, and they made mad things red.
You mean the whole show?
I mean, what about that intro? Y'all still think that intro fire, or we...
Yo,
Grand Tour, Dragon Ball GT!
Yo, that was a spicy rap right there. Welcome to the Grand Tour. Welcome to the Grand Tour.
That's a sweaty intro. That's all I gotta say, bro.
You know what's crazy is that growing up, I had no idea what GT was, and they mentioned it in the whole song. Grand Tour. And I'm just like, I still don't know what GT even stands for. Completely oblivious.
No, I'm just tripping that they really got an entire hype squad for a man going, Dragon Ball GT! Yo, I'm like, bro, they really going hard on this intro.
They went ham on it. If you never listened to that intro, you gotta check it out.
Or not.
Nah, 10 out of 10 recommend. It's worthwhile. The English dub. The English dub. Yeah, so as always, spoilers ahead. All right, if you haven't watched Dragon Ball GT, 1, good on you. 2 is that we're gonna be spoiling.
It's not canon anyway, so don't
sweat. Don't sweat anything. Do not sweat at all.
Because that's when I stopped caring, when I realized it wasn't canon. I ain't gonna lie, I was pretty hurt when I realized it wasn't canon. Because they start off the show like right after Dragon Ball Z, and it's like, yes, continuation, and then it's like, fuck!
It's something Dragon Ball struggles with is continuation, but then it's like, oh, hold up, let's go back a few arcs. Like, oh, let's make Goku a kid again. It's like, man. Yeah,
kind of like, yeah. Even though I do have to say, I did enjoy the opening of Dragon Ball GT. How you got to see Goku and Oob come out like, was it the hyperbolic time chamber up in there? I thought that was cool because Oob. That's the one thing that I'm really upset that Super doesn't have is my man Oob. Because he was a cool character. I really enjoyed him.
See, I feel like Oob is like a glimpse of what a new fighter in Dragon Ball could really be, but they just don't bother in like continuing and what they could really do with Oob. Like GT is the only time we're really gonna get some Oob action.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out to like the people who made the show, because like it did kind of go in a different direction, because I felt like with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, like it's mainly focused around the fights and all that. And like GT, it kind of would take the time to like look at like the actual Earth, you know, like actually care about the humans that kind of like every other arc get obliterated and they have to do the redo button on them.
It's like, I kind of argue with that though, because they, at least in the first arc, they just said, fuck the Earth. We're just going to explore some galaxies real quick.
First off, they've been saying, fuck the Earth.
Well, actually, so I want to talk about that. How did you guys feel about the first arc of Dragon Ball GT, the Black Star Dragon Ball saga? Personally, it was not memorable for me at all, and I hated Giru. Giru was the worst sidekick I've ever heard. He was just annoying. He didn't add any value.
Booty, bro. That man really did. They wanted the robot sidekick, but nah, he wasn't hitting.
No, he was a knockoff R2-D2, and it just didn't hit. It just really didn't hit.
I think the issue is like, you're going to start like a whole new show, and it's supposed to continue out Dragon Ball Z. the last time we was like in the Dragon Ball watching, we saw like Majin Buu and all his forms. We saw like Perfect Cell, all these heavy hitters, and then we get this trash.
I know.
Exactly. Like they're traveling across the universe trying to find these balls, but the fight. Fuck you. But that's but it's like the villains that they be coming across, like they're goofy. They too goofy. Like remember those dudes that be dancing in the cave going like Mambo. It's like they doing some random bullshit.
Pause. I have to call you on bullshit because Mad Bulls represent the Ginyu Force, and you know them bulls.
But they ain't Ginyu though. They ain't the Ginyu Force. They don't got the drip like the Ginyu Force has.
You know what? That's an issue I have is like they kind of reuse the same like themes. Like you can compare the Ginyu Force to those guys, and then like you can compare a lot of abilities of certain people to like abilities of like past villains, and like that's just
it's like GT
it's
really
lazy,
wants
you know?
It really wants you to be, oh, yo, remember this from Dragon Ball Z? Oh, he's kind of like that one dude from Dragon Ball Z. It's like, oh, what about some new stuff? Some new stuff.
Don't have any.
We don't got that on sale, but we got some of this, you know.
Yeah, the only two memorable characters from the Black Star Dragon Ball saga, which is like the first like 16 episodes or so, was General Rildo and Dr. Mew. Those were the only two characters I remember. Dr. Mew because, again, as you guys were kind of touching base earlier, he reminded us of Dr. Gero. He was basically Dr. Gero, but for GT.
I love Dr. Gero. That's probably
Dr.
why
Gero
I like Mew.
is cool.
Yeah, Dr. Mew was pretty cool. And then General Rildo, he was just like the toughest, what is it, android mutant like kind of thing. He was like a robot mutation kind of guy. He had like he gave Goku a little bit of a fight, but at the end of the day, you know, he still got sauce. Nothing crazy. Besides those two characters, nothing else about the Black Star Dragon Ball saga was memorable for me.
Nah, that's a skip button in my book, honestly.
What about like Pan and Trunks? Because not only was Goku there, but Pan and Trunks were there. But at the same time, you don't really remember them too because they don't really do.
No,
oh, they're acting goofy. Like, oh, dress Trunks as a chick.
Well, yeah. Oh, that was so funny. Yeah, he had to pretend to be the one guy's wife. Yeah. Oh, that was so stupid. I can't believe that was an episode. You go from Majin Buu with like, you know, going like Vegito, going toe to toe, all right, and then you go from Trunks being somebody's wife, bro. That was, I don't know, I can't stand that.
You know, they did it for the costume options for the later game. Anything for the costume options. Go crazy, get them unlocks.
How do you guys feel about Pan?
I'm gonna be honest, like, and I mean, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. I don't like a lot of side characters in GT at all.
They don't do anything.
Honestly, like, because you saw so much cool stuff before when I was watching GT, if it was like whack in the slightest, I'd be like, I don't really care. And I kind of like shut off my brain.
Like, the show really focuses on Goku too much, like way, way too much. Like,
it's because he's the only one that could actually put in work for so long.
Yeah, and that's the problem with GT and Dragon Ball in general. It's like Goku is the only one that Goku and slightly Vegeta are the only ones who really matter in the grand scheme of things. Like you put Pan into action, she'll put in throwing a couple punches, maybe shoot a ki blast, but other than that, that's it. She doesn't really throw in like big enough weight. Like she doesn't go Super Saiyan.
No, she does not. But I do have to say the one thing to give GT props for is that's a female Saiyan. Other than Goku's mentioned mother, and I think when you saw the one special with Bardock Squad, like the story of Bardock,
like Fasha,
Fasha, yeah. Other than those, you know, one is just mentioned, and the other one you actually get to see. You haven't seen female Saiyans really. I mean, mind you, she's only, was it quarter Saiyan at that point in time or something like that? I don't really know.
Yeah, because like Vidal.
Yeah, but you also got to see Bulla, Vegeta's Saiyan daughter, who maybe appeared for like, what is it, one episode, I think?
Again, they do not respect these characters.
No, they don't.
Introducing. Like, imagine like you pull up and it's like, wow, I feel like I really connected with someone and got ghosted. Like, they do this to us every single time.
I'm just disappointed because I'm thinking, you know, Vegeta's daughter, Vegeta about to make her like, you know, a tough fighter. She's about to be crazy. She has zero relevance in the whole series.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything.
No, she has zero relevance. It's like you're finally introducing female Saiyans and you're not playing them up. Like, that's not how you do it, in my opinion. I think that's poor execution.
That's okay. Dragon Ball Super came in clutch for those.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Super did some respect. They put some respect on the female Saiyans, bro. I 100% agree with that. Now, how'd you guys feel about the Baby Saga?
Baby
Baby, so I'm not gonna lie, people might disagree with me. I think he's a lame character. I think Baby is lame. Now, was it Baby Vegeta was cool. That design was really cool. But
Right.
it's like Baby was a lame character. And the reason being, right? So think about it. You got Cell, okay? In his base form, he's strong, but he has to absorb people to become much stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Majin Buu. Base form is strong, but he has to absorb people to get much stronger. Then we have Baby. Base form is strong, had to take over people to get much stronger. Like, I've seen this before.
Exactly.
I've seen that formula before multiple times. The only true, like, strong character prior to that was Frieza. So you're telling me in over 150 episodes, I haven't seen somebody that's just legitimately strong?
Baby's disappointing because they really come in with like an actually good backstory too. Because Baby was one of the truffle is one of those. But they used to be the race before the Saiyans, and Saiyans said, "Yo, fuck your shit," and then kind of bodied the entire race.
Which it was cool that they actually had a story. Like, we haven't seen that in forever.
The one time they flushed out a character.
Yeah, they
it's like, wow, a
had
good
some
villain.
background.
So,
Yeah,
a villain with a decent backstory. But then Baby comes up and it's like, there's no personality other than I'm a big bad man and I want to kill y'all because y'all killed my race.
Hey, listen, I'm softy for like Vegeta transformations because I mean Vegeta's a cool character. Everyone messes with Vegeta, Majin Vegeta. It's in the books. Even when Baby took over Vegeta, it's in the books because they be giving Vegeta the best appearances. I swear, I'm biased.
Except the second form. That second form was
but like it's cheating too, bro. Like it's really cheatsy because it's like you went for the same thing from before where you made a cool Vegeta transformation. And then, like, you ride with that look. Because, I mean, when you got possessed by Baby, sure, you look cool. Because, like, you got his eyes and stuff. And the way he looks is different from other people.
yeah.
That's about it, to my opinion.
I mean, I like the Baby Vegeta transformations. I thought those forms actually looked pretty cool, in my opinion. I give him points for that. But besides that, I wasn't a big fan of Baby or the saga. I really wasn't a fan of it.
I'm just a fan of the transformations in the show, if I'm honest.
Yeah, wasn't Baby Saga the first Super Saiyan 4 appearance by Goku?
Yes. Goku goes Super Saiyan 4 in episode 34, GT. So yeah, that was in the Baby saga.
Yeah, what y'all think about Super Saiyan 4 though? I think that shit it's the hardest transformation.
At the time, I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't looking at the eyeliner and all that, so I'm like, yo, this looks hard. He's half grade ape, he's half set. Like, I was like, all right,
stop you.
This
You don't put respect on the eyeliner. Sage no Naruto do the same thing, and he's still hard.
Nah, I'm not crazy about that, but honestly, to this day, that form still holds up to, like, in my opinion. Like, I'm a little disappointed that it didn't carry onward in a Super. At the same time, I'm not mad about it because, you know, it is what it is. It came and it's gone, you know. But yeah, Super Saiyan 4, I just thought, like, honestly, not even the form. I'm thinking in my head, yo, how strong is this man? How strong is he?
That's what you always thought, especially like early when you would get the Super Saiyans. I just really like it because they put respect on the apes, bro. Like before, like when you saw ape, it was like, oh yeah, this thing destroys planets. Like this is what they primarily use. Yeah. And then it's just a transformation where you control that power easy. Boy, I want to see you put in work. Let's see what that.
Yeah, how'd you guys feel about the Golden Ozaru? Like the Golden Great Ape? I thought that was the hardest thing that they've done in the franchise in a long time. That form looked crazy to me. I said, all right, that's pretty hype. That's pretty hype.
I thought it was just cool because finally, great ape representation. Like, when was really the last time you really had great apes? Since, like, Saiyan Saga.
Yeah, Saiyan Saga was probably the last time you really, like, saw it, other than maybe a flashback here or there. But even then, I don't remember any flashbacks that would have, like, brought that up, you know?
So, I may be wrong, but, like, is that the first, like, kind of golden transformation in, like, the Dragon Ball saga? Because, I mean, they did Golden Frieza later, and I wonder if, like, the Golden Ape did so good, they're like, shout out Golden Frieza.
Yeah, I mean, I think it is the first, like, golden transformation, per se. I guess I would say so, but I don't know. I just thought it was just cool because you're Super Saiyan in great ape form. Like, I never thought that would be possible. And then here is Goku literally going ape. Literally going ape. It's crazy to me. But yeah, I thought it was cool, the Super Saiyan 4 form. I just, like, it was nice to actually see Goku as an adult. I think that was one of the biggest things. I'm like, he's finally a grown man again.
Like, they should have never turned that man into a kid.
Was so
like, that was stupid.
Yeah, I
mean, for people that actually watch Dragon Ball and seen the process, like, we're not trying to see that again. Dragon Ball is cool, but I'm not gonna. Like, I finished watching it for a reason.
Yeah, you know what's one thing that I was not a big fan of in Dragon Ball GT is that Gohan, a pussy, bro. He's a softie. He not doing anything.
And I mean, last time we saw like a young Gohan, he was putting in work, wasn't he?
Super Saiyan 2 Team Gohan. Mystic Gohan? Yes,
Mystic Gohan.
I remember as kids, Jose will always be like, Gohan is one of the hardest characters out here.
He is. There's just no doubt about that.
And then they just shit on him.
They just make him a nerd. They just make him a straight up bookworm.
Yeah, made him a Harvard bum, bro. Like, what happened?
It's just like, where'd the Saiyan blood in you go? Like, you're just different from all the Saiyans like that. As far as I'm concerned, every other Saiyan literally just has to throw hands on sight every single time.
How'd you guys feel about Goten in Dragon Ball GT? Because, I like that he was I guess technically a teenager. Yeah. Borderline adult. So I was like, oh wow, he's actually grown. This is cool. But he also is still a softie. Honestly, I think he's stronger than Gohan, to be completely honest, in GT.
He's able to go Super Saiyan as a kid. I think, he would have the potential to be even stronger than even Goku. If they run him wrong.
I definitely think Ahai was actually seeing him fight a little bit, because I'm not gonna lie, the whole series, Dragon Ball Z, GT, and Super, they don't put any respect on Goten's name. They don't put any respect on it whatsoever.
No, not really.
I mean, he fought as Gotenks, and then that was it. And that was it. You really don't see this.
I was about to say, he only gets recognition when Trunks is involved, low key. Think about it. Future Trunks, hard character. You put in a sword character, you already won over half the damn audience.
Goten was possessed by a baby at one point in time. I guess that's, other than Goku and Vegeta, I guess that's the next best thing.
I guess it's kind of,
it's not good, but
it kind of sucks too, because I remember in like the beginning too, Goten was originally supposed to also get on the ship with them. I want to see more Goten. Let me see more Goten and like young Trunks. That's
exactly what I'm thinking.
Like, this what GT should have done. Like, show us more interactions between these people.
Yeah,
like these characters we grew up with.
Well, that's why I like shows like Naruto, because you have like 18 different side characters, but like they actually flesh them out. Like, you actually get to know them a little bit better. Meanwhile, in Dragon Ball Z, GT, Super, even Dragon Ball, it's just like, here's a side character. We're not going to tell you anything about them, but they with you now.
I think the biggest issue is like, when you're watching it, like, you think like, oh, like, this is it and all that, but again, this isn't canon. And like, the people that made the show, it's not even it's a continuation, but like, it's not based on a manga or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they just made the show, and I'm like not surprised it did what it did, because there's plenty of errors. It's no way in form any of the like my top shows ever, but
I mean, they did some cool things. Like, I like the idea of bringing back the Great Ape, and even just Saiyan tails. You forgot that Saiyans had tails, because I haven't seen a Saiyan with a tail in forever, since probably Gohan.
They needed to put respect on the Great Apes. No lie, they did.
Yeah, I just like that. They're kind of going back and saying, hey, these are technically alien people. For foreign species, like, make them unique again, and they did that for sure. Did a little bit of a callback. How'd you guys feel about Red Shenron?
Red Shenron?
Yeah.
I mean,
I thought it was just cool, because, he coming out and he like taking up like the whole sky. Normally it's just like he go shoot up through the sky, loop around a little bit, and then he's kind of there. This one looks like it's like taking up the whole world, Yeah,
it's like, as a kid, I remember seeing Red Shenron. Like, I remember when I saw Porunga, I was like, yo, this nigga buff as fuck.
Can we give a shout out to Porunga?
Porunga,
he harder than all of them. I don't even care about the Super Dragon Balls. Nah, Porunga's still the hardest one out there.
That boy hit the gym. He was like, I ain't trying to look as weak as these motherfuckers right here, bro. When the Red Dragon came, I was like, oh, yo, what about to happen?
I know. He on that Jafar genie lamp style,
Bro, I'm telling you, something about changing the color to red makes it fire, but like, I ain't gonna lie, he popped up, and then I realized like the wish difference. I was like, wait, hold up. This is like discount What? I was like, wait, hold up. This man does a third of the work. The other one does. I'm like,
dang.
Oh, damn.
That's crazy. They said, nah, we giving you that off-brand stuff. How'd you guys feel about the Super 17 saga? That was barely even a saga, if I'm being honest. It was just a few episodes.
Bro, like,
well, first of all, can we talk about how dumb of an idea that was? They said, hey, let's bring two characters together. They're the same exact character, and let's just fuse them.
Yo, and they become super.
And then we add super to their name. Oh my
God, give them long hair.
No, that's terrible. Like, use your brain. Are you kidding me? That was... I mean, mind you, the fights in there were actually kind of cool. Super 17 didn't put in the work. I'll tell you this. He was a force.
My issue is like, bro, you got like Super Saiyan 4, right? Like pretty early on, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, they really went.
For the show, like they pulled out that form real quick. And bro, like he either struggles or he whoops ass with that form. And I'm just like, bro, what's that power level right now? Like,
it's like, I feel like man be playing around too much with the forms. Like he'd be toying around with it. It's like, oh my God, I lost my form. It's like, well, if you weren't fucking around for like 5 minutes straight with the villain, it's like you could have killed him off rip.
Yo, during the Super 17 saga, they had Frieza and Cell team up.
Didn't like people get resurrected from like hell and shit?
Literally, Hitler was there.
Yeah, Hitler was there.
Literally, Hitler was there. You had people from the Muscle Tower from Dragon Ball. Actually, you had like the Red Ribbon Army.
Even Nappa pulled up one time.
Even Nappa showed up in the Cybermen. Yeah,
I'm gonna need them to get their fucking afterlife system fixed, bro, because they be flip flopping on like how death works in Dragon Ball.
I don't know if you all remember, but they actually even had Cooler pop up.
Yup.
Did they?
Yeah, Cooler actually showed up in there. He was like one of the faces of people coming out of.
He was one of the faces. So he didn't give him no dialogue.
Like, he had no, I don't think they did.
Shout out all the movie villains that like were able to kind of integrate into like the actual show.
I was like, all right, that's actually kind of cool. I was like, here's the thing, I always want to see like Cooler like just like lay down the law without Goku there. I don't think that they could beat him. Cooler was a nasty villain. He was pretty crazy.
It was cool.
But Frieza and Cell, so I thought that was cool because you actually saw two of the baddest villains team up. All right. But here's the thing, they were lame.
Yeah,
the fight wasn't even that good. It really was not that good.
Well, that's because they decided to whip out like some old like hitters, but like you gotta realize my man just got like the Super Saiyan, like everyone got upgrades, you guys just got resurrected. Like
Well, here's the thing, so Goku bodies them, and then they're just like, yo, like we can't die over here because we're already dead. Then they end up freezing Goku. Goku breaks out of the freezer, ends up freezing them. And like that's their whole like debacle. I said
it was freeze tag.
It was freeze tag, bro. Yeah, they said tag, you're it. Yeah, it was lame the actual fight itself, but like the concept behind Frieza and Cell, like you're seeing two of the best villains, and you're just like, whoa, hold on. And they're both at max power. This is about to be something crazy. This is about to go insane. And then they got an episode and a half of...
Should have done it earlier, man.
Yeah.
Should have done it earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I don't even think that they should have done it earlier. So what they should have done is just done it right. It's like, if you're going to bring them back, you got to dedicate a few episodes after them, and you got to make them good fights. You got to make it so that way Goku finds Piccolo out the blue, and then they tag team up on them. Now, that would be a fight I want to see.
I was about to say, because it doesn't really match their, like, personality, does it? Like, Frieza, like, is hell-bent on, like, conquering and stuff. So you're telling me the first thing he does when you resurrect is he's just gonna go to the person that whooped his ass? Like, same with Cell. Like, and Cell, mind you, like, built up his power, and then he whooped ass. He didn't just go, like, run that fade again, boy. Like, you caught me slipping last time. It ain't the same. The ground ain't wet.
Yo, that's one thing that was disappointing with GT is, where's Piccolo at, man?
They always do my man Piccolo. Piccolo was a Martian Manhunter ass nigga, bro.
You gotta think though, all the way up until probably the beginning of the Buu saga, he was the one person other than Goku and Vegeta that kept on training, that constantly grew in strength and power. Because at one point in time, he held off second form Frieza. That's pretty crazy.
Bro, he was even tossing hands with Android 17.
Yeah, and Vegeta got by
Vegeta
17.
got destroyed.
At the time, Vegeta's first altercation with 17 got absolutely rocked.
The androids used to rock. They put in work.
Yeah.
And then here comes Piccolo, bodying real quick, coming in with the 2-piece. It was crazy. He was going toe to toe. So at one point in time, he was borderline on par with like Super Saiyan 2. I would say he's in between. He's like between Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 2 in strength. But like, he put in the work. He was the one character that consistently trained. So
time out. Can we like give a little moment to Piccolo, bro? Because people really disrespected my man. Like, what is the best thing he's ever done, bro?
The best thing? I mean, he sacrificed himself for Gohan. He tossed hands with androids. He tossed hands with Frieza.
Like I said, I think the Frieza fight to me is the biggest one because Vegeta got, like, actually, I just realized that's the whole thing. When Vegeta gets by, Piccolo just steps in. It's like, all right, Vegeta, thanks, man. I appreciate the warm-up. Let me hop in here real quick.
All right, let the real one hop in real quick. Yeah. Throw some hands.
No, I definitely think that was one of Piccolo's best moments, in my opinion, is going toe-to-toe with Frieza. No, because you gotta think, this is a galactic ruler. All right, and Piccolo's just like, yeah, I'll go at it, and just comes in. He like holds his own ground. In fact, he's rocking Frieza.
Good, he deserves some justice after what Frieza did to him.
I thought that was probably one of his like highlight reel moments.
Yeah, I agree.
And definitely going toe to toe with the androids because, like you said, they actually weren't a joke at all.
No,
I mean you got to think of the futuristic scenario. They're ruling the world, so
they basically had to pull a flashpoint for the androids.
Yeah,
think about it. They were like, "Hold up, the timeline's actually gonna screw us all over, so we got to mess with it."
But then in GT, they just straight up kill him off. Like I get that they trying to make his death like really mean something, but at this point they barely showed that man off in GT. So
I know
once they killed him off, it was like it didn't really have any impact.
I was really disappointed, but I mean he did destroy the Black Star Dragon Balls for good. And
true.
It was like a bittersweet moment because you saw Piccolo and like everybody's heart was like there. You know, you had that one little glory tear in your eye there. You just thought, this is a beautiful scene. This is awesome. So it was like a bittersweet scene. It was like a low and a high at the same time. It's like that was a memorable moment, but like,
where's Piccolo?
You killed Piccolo. Yeah,
you really killed the man off without really showing them much of him.
Yeah.
Is Piccolo going to hell?
Did he? I think
actually, he was there.
He did go to hell. He fought like a bunch of dudes.
Yeah.
He fought I think he fought the Ginyu Force.
What the hell is he? The Ghost Rider? Like he just died and still giving hands.
When he actually did go to hell, he told Goku, he said, yeah, I'm just going to stay down here and make sure things are all good down here. Basically, he was the police of the hell, bro. That's crazy.
So he is Ghost Rider. Okay.
Yeah. Lastly is the Shadow Dragon saga, and that's was
the best arc, bro.
And I'm glad it was the last saga because they actually did that significantly better than the last three. Because Black Star Dragon Ball and Baby Saga, it's better. Super 17, that was it was too rushed. I think they could have fleshed that out a little bit better and actually put a story behind it.
It should have been earlier. I think it really should have been earlier.
Yeah. But Shadow Dragon Saga, it gets really good. That's when things get like significantly better. And how did you guys feel? First of all, how do you guys feel about the Shadow Dragon when you saw him? That came out, or the Black Smoke Dragon that came out of the Black.
Oh, the man with the cigar.
With the cigar, I was like, Shenron with a cigar. Yo, these creators are on something right now.
I love the designs of the Shadow Dragons. I feel like that's where, like, I don't know where the hell the fucking writers were at the first 3 arcs, but once they hit Shadow Dragon, all the creativity, they're like, all right, we're gonna make some really cool characters. And the whole backstory behind it was cool. Like the Dragon Balls being used against them pretty much.
Yeah. I did actually kind of enjoy that. They said, listen, you guys have been using it too much. And I don't know. I don't remember if they did a flashback or not. But if you really look back and think how many times they used the Dragon Balls, I mean, even just Dragon Ball itself. Yeah, and just Dragon Ball itself, I think they used it like 8 times.
Well, there's like dead ass parts where they're like, bro, this person died, and they're like, bro, chill out. We'll just get the Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, they really said, don't worry, we got the Fountain of Youth on deck.
I was like, y'all just abusing the system right now.
Yeah. My man Shenron, he was on a first name basis with them. That's how much they used it. They said, oh, hey, Goku.
It's like,
what do you want this time? Oh, right. Krillin died again? I got you. Bro, yeah, no, I did enjoy that. I was a fan of like half of the dragons because half of them were kind of goofy looking and didn't really do anything
they
for
needed
me.
to do that whole like climbing the mountain before you reach the climax and where you get the big characters. And I understand that, but it's also like, bro, you just put me through that whack ass like arc like right before this. Like if you don't get to the meat and potatoes of this shit, bro.
Yeah, there are some that I thought were dope, like Nueva Shenron. That man was
Nuova Shenron, I think, was the best thing that happened in Dragon Ball GT. If I'm being completely honest,
those are some of the best villains in my opinion.
He was such a cool character. He actually, like, you know, was toe-to-toe with Goku. They were pretty mature, which is weird.
Yeah, out of all the Shadow Dragons, I feel like he had the most, like, level... He was the most level-headed out of all of them.
Yeah, I thought they had a pretty sick fight. And even with Ice Shenron, who was basically a weaker version of Nuova, I thought he still did pretty decent, too. I mean, he did a decent fight, but he didn't have nearly as much depth as Nuova Shenron did. Yeah. And then, of course, Sin and Omega Shenron... I have to say that's a baddie that they ended really well with. Yeah. That was good that they ended with that. I was really happy with that because he was a strong character and he was tough.
He was going toe to toe with everybody, especially at his final form and like the climax of the story when shit was hitting the fan.
Literally hitting the fan. It was literally insane.
Like that man was penetrating spikes through fucking. I think it was like Gohan, and bro, I thought people were about to die.
Yeah, I mean, one of the cool things in that saga is Vegeta finally goes Super Saiyan 4.
Yeah.
But did you guys like how he did it?
Not really, bro. I mean, it makes sense, like, thinking back, because, like, if you are, like, a DBZ fan, you know, like, Vegeta, like, always struggled behind Goku. Yeah. And he had to do some weird way to get back and, like, reach to Goku's level. And sometimes he just broke through, which was kind of, like, bullshit. If you want to, like...
The man cried so hard to finally achieve, like, Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
I still don't like how he kind of needs, like, a little outside help, but I mean...
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that, how he needed, like, Bulma's help in order to go Super Saiyan 4, because, like, Goku just found it within himself, man. I mean, but the biggest thing was the tail. Yeah. You know, that's ultimately what he really needed. So I understand why, you know, they had the extra help. You know, Bulma does the Butts Wave thing, he gets his tail, and then...
Yeah, but it's not like the most satisfying way. It's like, he cheated. Okay.
Yeah, I'm also not a big fan of how he looks in Super Saiyan 4, because Goku keeps, like, his lower half of the gi, and then you got... Vegeta is like biker on the bottom half, or he's like, I don't know. It's really weird. His pants are awfully tight.
They did Vegeta visually dirty a couple of times in that show, especially with that mustache bullshit.
Yo, no, don't you Vegeta with the mustache?
Yeah, yo, with the handle.
Yo, he was looking fresh with that mustache when GT popped.
He was a whole dad.
He was looking like a straight dad.
He was rocking the dad bod, bro. He was vibing with it.
There was a lot of people rocking visuals. I was just like, oh, so this is what you become after Z? I
wanted to see him fight in that mustache. That should be unlockable costume.
Yo, you think that thing would go Super Saiyan also with his mustache hair turned blonde and
only mustache man I need is Hercule. Stay out of it.
What about Nappa?
Yeah, Nappa. What?
Yeah.
Fuck his bald head.
But yeah, the Shadow Dragon saga. It actually, in my opinion, I think that was the best thing that happened to GT. It's still not a phenomenal arc by any means, but they had at least memorable characters. They had memorable fights. You actually have Vegeta back on the scene. You know, as a whole, I thought it was
and all that.
Gogeta is the best thing that happened. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I still think that's the strongest form in all the entire Dragon Ball franchise. That's one of my favorite characters.
Hey, bro, don't count Super, because they did Super Saiyan 4 kind of dirty after Super.
Yeah, once Ultra Instinct hit, it was like, nah, Super Saiyan 4 just trash.
That's some nonsense.
I mean, I think it's the best form Saiyan-wise, like, but if you go to, like, the God level or, like, anything else, it's not going to touch. And I think that's why, like, they can't have it canon, because, like, Super Saiyan 4 is so cool aesthetically, but, like, power level-wise, like, it's just... People don't even want to get into GT because it's like, does it matter? And
not really.
Yeah, it just sucks that in order for you to get to the good part of GT, which is around like episode 40 or so, You have to watch through the 40 episodes of nonsense in order to watch something that finally piques your interest, that actually gives you a taste of what the ending of Dragon Ball Z was like, you know?
Yeah. And it's like, at that point, it ain't even worth it. It's why even bother watching some shit if it's like the beginning's trash? I want to experience the whole package, not get half.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I just feel like the series didn't have fully fleshed out characters because they had some like cool designs, and the art, I think, for the series, they did a phenomenal job. It looked really good, but nobody was really memorable. Like, I know
ending memorable.
That ending is the best thing to happen in that show. That ending was amazing.
But it's just, I didn't think that everybody had a good background or depth, brought to them. I mean, look at Super 17. Two 17s get together, Dr. Mew, Dr. Gero, okay, whatever. It was a boring story. I want some with a little bit more depth. Like, I'm going back to the Frieza saga, which honestly, really think about, probably is the best saga, with the exception of the 8 episodes of like screaming for the
8 episodes,
the 20. But Frieza actually had some depth behind it. Like, there's a reason why Vegeta hated Frieza. Goku wanted Super Saiyan because his friend died. Like, there was actually some like depth and a little bit of emotion, I guess you could say.
Like, there's stakes to the battle and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
It was good because at the time no one was dying, and like every time like a big boy came out, like when Raditz like first pulled up and all that, people died. And then when Frieza pulled up, it was like a Game of Thrones moment. He just cleaned house, and it's just like, oh shit.
Yo, shout out to Raditz, the forgotten brother of Goku, bro.
Shout out Goku's dad, forgotten dad of the series.
Honestly, kind of breaking off a little bit, I wish Bardock was in the Dragon Ball Super story.
I wish there were so many movie characters that like I thought
they would have Pikkon in Dragon Ball Super. I thought they would have Pikkon. Pikkon was a cool character in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
But instead they chose Frieza over him? I said, no. Pikkon would have been such a better choice, in my opinion. It would have been cool to have him back. I enjoyed his character a lot more.
I guess the big question is, like, I think we said the positives and negatives of the show. It's like, would you recommend it?
No. Nah.
Damn, you came fast as fuck.
Bro, I ain't gonna lie. The only good arc in my opinion is the final arc. Like the first 3 arcs really just feel like a waste of time.
No, I 100% agree with Johnny. I would say if you did watch GT, to watch like the last like 15 episodes, because that's when you'll actually get a taste of Dragon Ball. That's when you'll actually feel like you're watching Dragon Ball.
Yeah, and if you only need to watch one episode, the final episode, in my opinion, is the best episode in that entire series, because it really feels like the end of Dragon Ball, something that
it does.
We're probably never gonna see because they want to milk Super.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how did you guys feel about that? How, it's essentially a grand tour, as they said, and he goes through. You even see Tien a little bit, man. Like,
yeah,
what?
you see, it's like they show off
him in forever.
They show off all the characters. I'm just like, where was this?
all the characters that should have been there for the Shadow Dragon Ball, arc, but it's okay. They out there in the woods.
I like the ending for like what they were going for. I hated the ending because it's like, oh yeah, grand tour, and it's like, man, I seen like 4 or 5 people with an actual story behind them. This ain't no grand tour. This is like literally like, oh, you see that elephant over? Yeah, it's like 50 miles away. You saw the image though, right? All right.
Yeah, definitely the ending was good in the last, like I said, probably like 15 episodes or so. Like, it's starting with Nova all the way up until the end. I think that's where you'll be like really happy. But besides that, the other arcs just weren't memorable.
Yeah, GT.
Even when Goku went Super Saiyan 4, if I'm being honest, the episode wasn't memorable to me, to be completely honest. Like, he went, bam, Super Saiyan 4.
Oh, poof.
So does that mean, like, if we're saying remember when Dragon Ball GT, people gonna have problems remembering one?
Yeah, they gonna have an issue. They're gonna have an issue. But there was a good amount of highs. It's just, I felt that there were too many lows, and the biggest low that is just, the series was a little bit lost. It didn't know what it really wanted to continue going for. It tried return to its roots in Dragon Ball, but it also wanted to keep up the intensity of Dragon Ball Z. And honestly, those two just didn't mesh. It was a whole different transition.
There's a reason why people prefer, like why some people prefer Dragon Ball over Z, and why some people prefer Z over Dragon Ball, because they're two completely different types of anime. You got Dragon Ball being being goofy. Of course, we get a main villain sometimes, but it ain't all about the fights. Like Z, it said, we're gonna bring galactic battles, fucking action everywhere. Like it's the manly show.
Yeah, that, and every arc of Dragon Ball Z is like, you either win this battle or the world is destroyed. Like it's high stakes every single arc. Meanwhile, like it was high stakes in the Black Star Dragon Ball arc, but you really didn't feel about it because you were just like, just go to Namek and bring back Earth, whatever.
GT in general, even from the start, it wasn't even like that. It was like, you're a child now. Cool.
It's like, wow, I guess we're going back.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that was one of the biggest things that hindered the show. I do think Kid Goku's. I really like his outfit in like the blue gi.
It's like the end of Z, like gi that he donned.
Yeah, I actually did like that outfit, but besides that, I didn't like him as a kid. Bro, I just wasn't a fan of it.
You can be dripped out but still be whack, bro.
Yeah, yep. I just wasn't a fan of it, and I also just didn't. You guys said it earlier. It's all about Goku. Where is everybody else? Even 18. Why isn't 18 fighting? What happened?
Bro, when Krillin got done dirty, he really just got shot in the chest, and they're like, bye, Krillin.
Yeah, I just don't understand what happened to everybody. There used to be a lot of Z fighters. There actually used to be training and all that, and then you go to nothing. It just is really disappointing because if Goku ever goes down in that series, you're just thinking, okay, yeah, the Earth is actually dumb because nobody else kept up their train. Like, nobody can hold their own at that point in time. The story as a whole, it hurt from just not being fully fleshed out.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, GT is just, I'm not mad at it. I'm just disappointed. It's just an entire series full of missed potential. From like every single arc has missed potential. We're like, bringing back people from hell. Why aren't you showing off like other people, like people from Dragon Ball, like Cooler, like any other movie villain if they could get that?
Because it ain't based off a damn manga, bro.
Well, I guess so.
That's just point blank. Period. It ain't based off a manga. They made the show how it is, and
I mean, I think you kind of said it best, Johnny, is that it's just missed potential. It had great ideas on paper. It just wasn't executed well at all.
Nah, and it's disappointing, but we thought Super was going to do that, but then Super kind of tanking it a little bit, where people now even comparing like, is GT better than Super? Like, what do y'all think? Would y'all take GT over Super? Or
no, I'd rather take Super. I'd rather take Super.
I wouldn't even compare the two, bro.
I think Super found a much better balance than GT did, in my opinion. Because GT tried to bring back elements of Dragon Ball and then fuse it with Z and then create, a new series. Dragon Ball Super, they did that in like in the in between episodes before the Tournament Power. Yeah. They were like, hey, let's go see Master Roshi. I think they even talk about Fortune Teller Baba a little bit.
It's an actual story.
Yeah, they actually bring back those old elements, but they did it well. That's the thing, is that I actually enjoy their fluff episodes. Actually, can we talk about the Yamcha episode with the baseball one? Tell me why that is the best episode I've ever seen in any anime in my life. That was the best filler episode of all time.
Because it's the best type of episodes. It's the episodes we've been wanting too. It's like everybody getting together, just shooting the shit, just hanging out pretty much.
Just having a good time. That was one of the best filler episodes I've ever seen. Oh my goodness. I like that. I like that one in Super. But yeah, as a whole, I definitely recommend Super over GT. It's just, if you have the option between two, just don't even hesitate for me. Yeah. I think GT is just the worst of the two. Do you guys agree with that?
I would say I like the concepts of GT more, but the execution is just trash. I'll prefer Super. I'll watch Super. I can actually stand it, but it's just, I don't know. Both series are disappointing to me. I wish they could have been more. That's the only thing.
I think the issue a lot of people have is you watch these shows as a kid and then you have all these high expectations of like, this, that, and the third. Because people are like, Clone Wars is fire. But like in actuality, Jedi ain't like that. Like, and at the same time, like you got GT is like people ain't like that. The power levels is messed up and all this. And then at least with Super, they're trying to like build on like what they already built because they made this big universe, right?
Yeah.
Especially in the beginning where it's like, oh, Frieza destroys planets casually. So that must mean there's a lot of planets and galaxies and all this stuff. And so they're building on that. GT, it was literally like, this is the small bubble that is Dragon Ball, but we also have the potential to be crossing galaxies like no problem. Huh? Huh? That's like putting a fishbowl in replacement for a hole outside. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, kind of just a wrapping up thought. Who was your favorite character in GT, or I guess maybe even Form?
Favorite character? I mean, Super Saiyan. Okay, in terms of Form, Super Saiyan 4 offer it. That's easy. Maybe even Gogeta. Gogeta was hard, but in terms of favorite character, because they don't show anybody off other than Goku.
I mean, honestly, for me, I might have to say Sin/Omega Shenron. Because he was dope. He was an awesome villain.
He made some of the best moments for that show, so that's why he's my top.
Yeah, I would probably say he's number one for me.
Yeah, because honestly, I try to think of a favorite character, but then I just think, oh yeah, because he did this in Z. But it's gonna have to be Sin Shenron. I want it to be someone else, but I can't. It's hard.
Yeah, no, it's tough. Well, kids, adults, everyone, go check out Dragon Ball Super. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you do check out GT, we hope you find some that we didn't find in it and do get some enjoyment out of it. But that wraps up this episode of Remember When. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at Remember When Podcast. Give our Facebook page a like at Remember When Podcast. And as always, have yourself a wonderful day.